With this video, I want to explain to you how to properly submit health projects to me. The very first thing you see there is to stop and read this, and that's important. Be sure you address the envelope in the proper manner. Review the 4 different methods below in which you can submit a project. Be sure to write the number 1 beside the Professor McBride's name. In this case, let me explain what this means now. Your class that you're in, because I have several different classes, the class you're in may have maybe a number 2 or maybe a number 3 or a 4 or a 5. It's because I teach different classes. So this is a code to me. So you make sure you put the correct number that's posted in your class under how to submit health projects. Okay, so it may not be a number 1. Double check to make sure it's whatever number it is, a number 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 4 or a 5. Okay, but that's important. It's a code to me, so it's very important that you put the proper number that's identified to your class in this section here. Okay, all right. Moving on down, there's 4 different methods which you may submit projects as such. If you do submit a project by either U.S. Postal Mail or Federal Express or UPS or some other service, the postmark, the date that's stamped on the envelope, will be considered as the date of submission. Okay, so I'll repeat it. The postmark, that's if you mail the project either by U.S. Mail or Federal Express or UPS or some other service, the postmark that is stamped on the envelope will be considered as the date that you submitted the project. Okay, all right. Make sure you allow 1 week after you submit the project for any grades or points to be posted. So don't call me before 1 week has elapsed to see if I've received it, or check the grade book. And after 1 week, if you don't see any points posted in the grade book for that particular project, feel free to contact me. But you gotta allow time for it to arrive to my office and for me to grade it. So if you mailed it today, don't call me in the morning, because no, I won't receive it. Wouldn't have had it by that time. It's your responsibility to make sure that you do submit the project correctly and that I receive it. It's your job to make sure that I receive it. Also, it's recommended that you make copies, highly recommended that you make copies of any project that you submit to me. Now here's the 4 methods in which you can submit a project or projects. 1, you can drop these off at the campus mailroom. That's fine. The campus mailroom is located in the administration building, which is now G1, room 116 is the actual location of the campus mailroom. If the mailroom is closed, there is a mailbox, a blue mailbox outside of the administration building. It's not exactly in the front where the building, the sign says administration building. It's off to the left. It's down those steps on the left hand side of the building, on the auditorium side of the building. But go down the steps to your left, and then you'll see a blue mailbox there, and it's actually in front of room, let's see, there it is right there, in front of room 101. And again, that's on the left side of the building, down the steps, outside of course, on the auditorium side of the administration building. And the mailbox is right near room 101, which is an office building, but it's outside. It's not inside, it's outside. So if the mail room is closed, that's an alternative. Okay. Again, make sure you write, put the project, I prefer it that you put it in an envelope that's large enough, like an 8 or a 9 by 12 size, 9 by 12 inches size envelope for the projects to fit in there nice and neat. Okay. Again, the date of deposit, the date that's stamped on the envelope, will be the date of submission. The mailroom will put a date on that when they receive it. Okay. And make sure you address the envelope correctly. Again, the number 1, in this case, if your class is number 2, then make sure you put a number 2 there beside my name, or a 3 if that's the code that's been assigned to your class. Okay. The next method is if you mail it by the Postal Service or Federal Express or UPS, that's fine. That's a wonderful way to obviously send the mail to me, or send the project to me. Again, make sure you have it addressed correctly, and again, make sure you have the correct corresponding class code, whether it be a 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, that's assigned to your class. All right, and here's the complete mailing address. Again, the postmark on the envelope will be considered as the date that you submitted it. Okay. Again, the size envelope, I prefer the 9 by 12 inches envelope, so the projects will fit in there nice and neatly. The third way, you can also if going back to this one, if you mail it, I would say get some sort of proof that you did mail it. Find some method that the post office or the Federal Express or whatever can provide you with proof that you did mail the projects, what was inside the envelope, so that would be a backup in case anything happens to your project and I don't receive it. But again, it's your responsibility to get it to me. Just saying that you mailed it is not sufficient to get credit. Okay. The third way, you can come by my office and drop it off at my office. And my office, as you see here, is in building C1. That's really the men's gym, and room 135A is my office, specific office number, location in that building as such. On the outside of my office door, if I'm not there, on the outside of my office door, I have a clear plastic tray attached to the outside of my office door where you can leave projects even when I'm not in the office. So you don't have to see me in order to submit it. You can leave it in that clear plastic tray that's attached to the outside of my office door. Alright. If the building is closed, you can't get into the building, keep in mind there's also the administration building, the mail room, and if that building is closed, then you also have that mailbox outside the administration building, down the left hand side, down the steps on the left hand side of the building as such. Alright. And again, a 9 by 12 inch envelope is what I prefer. And again, make sure on the outside you have the correct address or correct name and the correct corresponding code number for your class. All right. Again, your class may be a number 2 or number 3 or number 4 or number 5. And you can drop that off at my office. And the last way, the fourth method, is courier mail. If by chance you're near another college, if you are maybe from another college or you live near another college that's in our district, and here are the colleges that are listed in our district, we have what's called a courier mail service, and you can drop any project off at their mail room at that particular college. Make sure you print very, very boldly and noticeably is courier mail. And I give you an example, but here's the colleges that you can, if you're near, we have courier service set up with these colleges here. And here's an example down here how you should address it. The envelope, make sure it says in big bold letters, courier mail, addressed to me, and again the correct corresponding course code, whether it be a 1, a 2, or 3, or 4, and your return address over here, and you can give that to the mail room at the college. Well, any of these 9 colleges, or actually 8 other colleges, if you're near there, and they will deliver it to my office. Okay, those are the methods in which you can deliver or can submit projects to me.